give you my last name, if you don't mind. I'm overworked and I'm underpaid, but I still thank the Lord every day that I still got a piece of the pie. Baby, meet me down at that dive. Cold beer and John Deere. I've been busting my ass.
Hey, welcome to Too Hard, Too Fast podcast. In this episode, we're back at the legendary studios, Shell Shock Records 3, here with Shelly Lattice. Today, we're mixing it up, though. We got a new country music singer. Country music is really close to my heart. That's what I grew up listening to, man. So we have Stephen Loren here with us. We're going to get to know him, know his background, what his journey looks like right now into country music, and what drives him as a country music singer. With that said, buckle up. Let's go. Too hard, too fast. Hey, I think I messed that up. It's all right.
Hey, what's up? This is Stephen Loren, and we're going too hard, too fast.
Yes, we are. And I'm weird. Just sticking to theme a little bit, since country music is really what I grew up listening to. Mm-hmm. I wanted to make sure I looked the part. I got my cowboy hat on.
I love it, man. I love it. I love it.
About the boots, dude. I haven't used these boots in maybe like at least 6 months.
Those are clean. I like those.
Man. Yeah, because I haven't used them. No, but at least 6 months. And my wife said when I wanted to buy these, she was like, well, as long as you use them.
You're putting them to use today.
I'm using them today. No, I really love them. I haven't used them in a while though. But so, where are you originally from?
I'm from here, San Antonio, Texas.
Really?
Born and raised.
Nice. What high school?
I went to East Central High School.
Oh wow.
East Central.
There's a mixture there, from what I've heard. I'm not from San Antonio, but a mixture of like country people that grew up in the country, and city folk.
Yeah, there is a variety.
Yeah.
There's everything there.
Yeah.
There's everything.
I'm like I said, I'm not from here, but it's just from what I hear. That's like a place where you'll see at least a really good mixture of the population, from people that live out in the country and the farms, or not the farms, but like the
yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, I just ask about that because I know the thing to ask about San Antonio is to ask your high school.
Yeah, everybody wants to know.
Apparently, it says a lot about you.
I can agree with that. It does. It does.
So, at what point, or was it in high school or later on, that you realized you kind of wanted to sing country music?
To be honest, it didn't really start till...
I always tell people, and I hate to cut you off, but I always tell people, dude, I just would love one day for a guest to not be honest at all and go through the whole podcast. And it's just like, oh, dang, everything was a lie. And that would be awesome, because too hard, too fast, we don't check facts. So
that's true. For me, I really did not take music seriously until very, very recently, probably about 2 years ago. And that's when I made a TikTok account about 3.5 years ago, so roughly around there. And I built it up to like 20,000 followers, and it got deleted for whatever reason. It was TikTok, TikTok's TikTok. Yeah, just randomly just took it down and deleted it. And I was like, oh man, like, what am I gonna do now? That was my only social platform at the time. So I was like, man, what am I gonna do now? And I made another one. I was like, screw it. I'm gonna try it again. Let's go for round 2. And I made this one and put a couple cover songs, singing some covers and stuff, Morgan Wallen and George Strait. And the account actually did really, really well. And I was actually really surprised. It was just boom, 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 booming and booming. And Shelly had reached out to me, and that's about the time that I decided that I was, going to take it a little bit more serious, because it's always kind of just been a hobby for me, just something to pass the time. I always enjoyed singing, but it wasn't until actually recently that I took it serious.
Would you sing in high school?
No. I am not I was never how do you say it? Like
social butterfly.
yeah, I am not social at all. I'm
I don't know what the
real
correct term
reserved
is.
in a shell.
Yeah. Okay.
That's always how I've been. I actually only went to the 9th grade.
Oh, really?
I graduated in the 9th grade.
For real?
Yes, sir.
Wait, how? Smart
Story.
Okay.
Story time. I was a terrible student.
Okay.
I was a terrible student. I didn't want to go to school. I skipped class all the time. I would hang out by the barn. Then my counselor told me one day when he saw me getting off the bus, he was like, you know, you've missed like 50 days in a row, but I see you get off the bus every single day. And I'm like, really? And he was like, yeah, I know what you're up to. And I was like, he was like, what's wrong? Like, you don't like school? And I was like, man, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't enjoy waking up in the morning. I don't enjoy homework and schoolwork. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
And so he gave me the ultimatum. He was like, you got a couple options. Come to school, do your work, get it over with, walk the stage, you know, finish it out. It's just a couple years left. Or go to another school, see if you like it there. And I was like, well, I don't want to do either of those. And he was like, you know what?
Which the second option doesn't sound much different from what you're already doing.
It's the same. It was the same. So I was like, I don't want to do either of those things, you know? What else can I do? And he was like, there's only one option left. And he said, you could take this test, but it's 9th through 12th grade. You haven't even gone to 9th grade fully. He was like, I don't believe that you're going to be able to pass that. Yeah. He said, but if you were able to, you get a high school diploma in your hand and you're free to go. And I was like, there's no way. Like, this is not true. And he was like, yeah, you want to try it? And I was like, yeah, I want to try it. And he said, okay, tomorrow morning you come here into my office. We're going to get you squared away. Went in there, took the test. Next day, he was like, I'll have the results next day. Came in the next day, went to his office, and he said, I have no idea how you did that at all. He said, but do you know what you passed with? I said, I passed. Like, I passed? And he was like, you passed. Do you know what you passed with? And I was like, nah, I have no idea like what I passed with. He said, you got a 98 out of 100.
Dang.
I said, man, there's no way. And he showed, pulled up the results on the thing, and he was like, you're a smart kid. He was like, I don't want to see you, not lose your life like that, but like
just throw it away.
Yeah, just throw it away. He was like, I would hate to see that, like you're a smart kid. And I was like, dude, the work's not the problem. It's just being here and, around a bunch of people all day and the work, I'm not a fan. And we shook hands and he was like, good luck. He was like, good luck. And I was like, what, like, that's it? And he was like, that's it. Like, he gave me a paper for all my teachers to sign me out. And that was it.
Dang. So what did you do after?
After that, I was 14, 15 years old. There was not much I could do. I went I slept in a lot. That's exactly what I wanted to do for a long time. So I slept in a lot and I hung out with friends, but it was really strange because all my friends were at school. So like, I didn't know what to do. I was just at home, and I don't play video games or nothing. So I kind of I think that's where I started writing music.
Yeah.
That's where I started writing like lyrics, maybe like not like poetry, but I started writing stuff down there. Never took it serious. I had like journals and stuff full. But honestly, if I could go back, I would have just finished high school because I missed out like on everything. I missed out your prom, homecoming, like all those things. Like,
would you
I
have
missed
gone
out.
to prom?
Probably not. Nobody would have went with me.
Well, you don't know, but I would have. I went all of high school, but I didn't do prom or anything like that.
Why?
Nobody would have went with me. Honestly, I don't know. Like I'm in a sense of like I like being around people. I like talking to people, which is probably why I have a podcast. But also at the same time, away from the camera, like you would say, like, damn, this guy he doesn't talk. What like? That's what all my friends like. I can't believe. Well, I would say friends that are like acquaintances will say, I don't know how you have a podcast. You don't talk to anybody.
Really?
And yeah, for the most part, I'm like, yeah, I'll just come in, do what I gotta do, and I'll leave. But friends are like, damn, this guy doesn't shut up.
It's like
let
that.
anybody talk.
It'd be like that.
Yeah.
It's like that.
But I think in high school I talked to everybody, but I was never like, other than like 5 to 7 people that were like close buddies, and they were all guys.
Right.
So it was just like the guys I hung out with. But I talked to everybody, guys, girls, from all kinds of like, you know, the sport people, the nerds, and the gothics, and you know, everybody. Yeah, I was all there.
Yeah, I was not a popular kid in school. I was not. I was, you know, tucked away. And I did hang out with the skaters and stuff like that. I had long hair, curly hair, wear like neon pants and neon shoes.
Nice.
Yeah,
that was the poser in the skaters. Whenever I hung out with the skaters, I was just the poser, just there. But yeah, I could like kind of chameleon into everybody's group, but I would never like want to be part of something. Like I didn't want to be part of the parties.
Right.
I went to a couple and I was like, oh no, I can get in trouble from doing this.
Some of those parties get crazy.
Yeah, man. So regardless, I didn't want to go. I wouldn't want to go to prom anyways, and I don't regret it. But it's really cool. Like, you know, it's a different. This is the first time I've ever heard that story. You know, I've talked to people that dropped out. I've talked to people that graduated maybe a year early at best. People that went into homeschool. So, but this is the first time I've heard this story. It's really interesting. It's really crazy. It's
it
really
was
cool.
crazy. It was crazy.
That's awesome though. So, and then you started writing lyrics.
Started writing
/
lyrics.
poetry. I would say maybe a little bit, because this is why I would say that. In college, I thought I was gonna be a country singer.
Really?
Oh yeah, 100%.
For real?
Yeah. But I came to realize I either had really good friends or really not so good friends, because they kept telling me I sang well, and then I took some lessons, and now they were like, "Nah, man, you can't sing. You want to learn to play the guitar?"
You know how to play guitar?
No, I have no musical talents at all.
You got it. I believe in you. You
do not. I love listening to music, but I don't have. I took guitar lessons for about maybe 3 years. The third year or going into the fourth year, I finally said, I'm just gonna sell this guitar, and I sold it for a profit, and I was like, that's a win.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. Profit's always good.
No, but yeah. But while I was thinking that I was going to be a country music singer, I wrote some stuff, and to me, the writing was poetry, and then I would write some chorus, what I thought was chorus.
Right.
And I sent it to Aaron Watson.
Really?
Yeah. On MySpace at the time was
MySpace.
MySpace.
Oh man, the days.
Yeah, so I sent it he replied, it's like, this is good stuff, man. Keep working.
He responded?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
What I think was him. Back then they didn't have the blue check or whatever. But,
Very
but I'm assuming it was him. It was his official MySpace. He responded with that, and I was like, "Cool, I'm gonna keep going."
That's big.
Anyways, that was my little thing to country music.
That's big.
Yeah,
Aaron
but
Lewis.
that's the only reason. Like, it has to be like a little bit. I think music is poetry.
Right.
So,
right. It is.
But so you started writing it in high school.
I did, and what's crazy? Not a lot of people know this. Oh, I don't even want to say it, but I'm gonna say it. In high school. And right when I had left, I thought I was going to be a rapper.
Oh, dang.
I thought I was going to be a rapper. So I had these journals, and I would just write all day, every day, go on YouTube and find like just instrumentals and just write stuff. And nothing ever came of it, because I didn't think that would ever be like a real road I was going to go down. You know, like I believe in criteria. I believe in criteria, and I didn't believe that I fit the criteria to be a rapper. You know, you need a good voice. You have to have a voice for it, you know. Look the part, you know. To me, I feel like I did not meet the criteria. It was something fun to do to pass the time, especially, you know, like drinking with your buddies and stuff. You got some music playing or whatever, you know, kind of just freestyle and passing it around. It was fun. I love doing it.
Yeah.
I love doing it, but country music has always been at the top of my list always. And it's because my grandmother introduced it to me when I was very, very young.
Yeah. So what was that connection to it with grandma and country music?
Well, so my grandparents raised me from the time I was probably, I want to say somewhere 3, 4, 5 in that area. So they took me in, and shout out to my parents, by the way. Y'all did a great job. They were just not in the best position to, take care of children or a child at the time. So my grandparents took me in. They had 7 of their own. So they took me in and also took my younger sister in. And, from the time I can remember, anywhere we would go, HEB, to school, just anywhere, running errands, all we played was country music in the car. And when that was with my grandmother. When my grandpa would be driving, conjunto, strictly we're listening to conjunto music, strictly. Yeah. So I grew up listening to a lot of Spanish and a lot of country. We weren't allowed to listen to rap music, being younger and stuff. They're Christians, so they didn't participate in listening to stuff like that, and we weren't allowed to listen to stuff like that, which was fine. I loved country music. So for me now, and she's not here with us anymore, but that's always been like my biggest thing. My grandmother introducing it to me, and just I get to go back to the good old days, and in my mind, and think about when I was young, and how we spent our days, on the weekends. Wake up early, and she'd have breakfast and the radio playing with some George Strait on. I can go back to those times, and it means a lot, especially being older and she's not here with us no more. So I can go back and reflect on those times.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I have a similar experience to that. So my parents, I'm from Eagle Pass, so small border town, mostly Hispanic, mostly Mexicans,
right?
So I was like the one brown kid with that was listening to country music,
right.
While everybody else was listening to either Spanish, some kind of Spanish music, mostly like Tejano or corridos and things like that. Yeah. So I was the only one, and then obviously I got made fun of for that.
Really?
Oh yeah.
For real?
Of course I did. Of course I did.
That's crazy.
It's different now because everybody that made fun of me back then listens to country music.
Dude, country music's so big right now.
Oh yeah.
So big.
It's completely different now. Which what I like about the songs that you have out right now, they kind of bring back that old school sound.
Heck yeah.
It reminds me of that, and I think a lot of the things that I don't know if it's just like an old person to say. It's like, oh, this is like the old time music.
Yeah.
You hear that with everybody, or any kind of no matter what type of music,
right?
But there is a different sound between the George Straits, the George Jones, the I was gonna say Jack Black. Oh my God, I was thinking the Man in Black. I was. Johnny Cash. Like it's and then obviously I would also Tim McGraw I would throw in there, and I can keep naming people. Alan Jackson.
Oh yeah.
That's the people I grew up listening to. And then now you have all these other artists that are. It's a different sound.
Yeah.
Point is a different sound, but whenever for me and when somebody hits that old school sound, but can still mix it into modern days,
right?
Dude, that is fire.
That's the way to go. And see, that was what I mostly wanted to do, because I grew up listening to Alan Jackson, George Strait, Tim McGraw, Mark Wills, Vince Gill, stuff like that. And as the times, we get more modern, like you said, there's a different sound now. And I wanted to try and keep it alive, but still be able to blend our modern culture in with what, paved the way for country music. Oh, yeah. And that's what I was trying to achieve. And I hope that we are.
I mean, so far, I think you're doing it. I think the reason I'm gravitating, not just obviously yes, your music, because you're doing that right now, but the way I'm saying, like, oh, when people can touch back into that old school sound,
Right.
it's because I do have those memories. You know, my memory that I was trying to say a little while ago is that going from Eagle Pass to go visit my grandparents in Austin, I didn't get to see them very often. Like, I saw them in the summers.
Right.
So to me, that 4-hour trip to Austin, it was 3 hour and a half trip. It seemed like forever, but we were like, first thing, the only thing we listened to on the way was country music.
Oh, heck yeah.
So it was that experience there. Then we got to Austin. I got listening to like Marco Salgado.
Ooh,
Shelly
yeah,
Lares.
right.
So yeah, Selena. But but on the way we would listen to country music, and that's what like it hit me. Like it just, and I remember those parts, like
Right.
the anticipation to go see my other grandparents. And then in Mexico, my other grandparents lived in Mexico, and they didn't listen to like any like Tejano stuff like that. It was like big band music, but Spanish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was like different. My grandpa used to love like instrumental type of music. But yeah, it just brings me back to those things. And then I really love like, I don't know, let's go with this. Like who's your old school country music favorite singer? And then who's your like nowadays favorite?
Okay. Let's dive into this.
Drive into some controversy.
Let's do it. For me personally, it's very hard to pick one because that era was so good. Yeah. Like there was many of them.
Let's say your CD gets stuck in the CD player.
Mark Wills.
Name one song. Like I'm trying to think of.
Dang, you put me on the spot now.
Sorry, I'm the worst with this. With thinking of songs.
You hate when that happens, right? They're like, name me 3 songs right now. Like, Jacob's Ladder.
Oh, okay.
Wish You Were Here.
Yes.
Dang, what's the one? There's one that I'm supposed to. Man, I literally sing it like every single day, and
The Weeknd.
I'm forgetting.
Was that the one you were talking
No,
about?
that's Steve Warner.
Oh, okay.
Mark Wills. Yeah, but yeah, he's got those.
Jacob's Ladder.
Jacob's Ladder.
It kicked me that in there.
That one right there was a big hit too, man. That's where it.
Which, by the way, people that might be listening to right now that never had a CD player, like, what do you mean the CD got stuck? Yeah, sometimes the CD will
Different
get stuck.
Good times.
Yeah. Nowadays, who's your favorite? Like, if you could only pick one.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm stuck on old country. Like if I showed you my country playlist in my phone right now, it's nothing but Alan Jackson, all those guys. You know, I do dabble a little bit into some new stuff right now. Hudson Westbrook is really hitting it for me. Everything he's putting out right now it's fire.
Hudson Westbrook.
It's fire.
I have to check it out. Check him out.
Mm-hmm. And Braxton Keith too.
Oh,
you heard Braxton Keith?
Heard, yeah.
He's good.
Yes.
He's real good.
I would say for me, old school.
It's hard.
It is. I'm gonna go with George Strait, just because, and it seems like a safe route.
The King.
But I just listened to a lot more of George Strait. Tim McGraw, though, if I really wanted something to like, everybody's cruising with their rap music and stuff.
Right.
I'm cruising with that Tim McGraw.
There you go.
Indian Outlaw.
Mm-hmm. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong there.
It's that was like a jam to play. Nowadays, well, and it's weird because I consider Kenny Chesney my favorite.
Really?
Oh yeah, all time.
He does not get the credit he deserves.
Because it sounds too much. Everybody calls him beach country. Country's country.
It's the country music that's gonna get you out of your seat and vibing with your friends. I think it's wonderful. It's great. I love Kenny Chesney, especially the stuff when he gets like get you into your feels. Oh man, that's the kind of country I love. Is the ones that could, when you feel like you're down or something.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, man, which is kind of weird, right? Because like you're already down, and then like you go and like put like super sad country on, so you're more down.
Oh yeah.
But it just does something.
And that's the thing that everybody would say is like, oh, country's just about somebody like being sad. I was like, that's most music.
Yeah.
Most music.
Honestly,
the Tejano you're listening to.
Honestly,
corridos. Tejanos can be sad. Corridos are just angry sad.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, Kenny Chesney, all-time favorite, no matter what, old school and new school. I think right now, obviously Morgan Wallen right now. I think that's a
Morgan Wallen. That dude's so big right now. So big. He's everywhere. Luke Combs too. Oh, you know what? Can I change my answer?
No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Yeah.
All right. I'm stuck between Luke Combs and Cody Johnson. If we're talking about mainstream, because the Hudson Westbrook and Braxton Keith, they're like upcoming artists. They're doing their thing. They're out there and they're somebodies, you know. But as far as like if we're talking a category like George Strait and Tim McGraw, well, Morgan Wallen, Luke Combs, and Cody Johnson are in that category, you know.
Yeah.
For modern country, and it's gonna be a tough one between Luke Combs and Kojo for me because
Okay.
Cody Johnson does so much like cowboy music, you know, like his music just like hits for the cowboys, you know. And then Luke Combs, that dude can like really like just blow you away with like some father-son stuff, some like let's get out and party type stuff, and like he's just like super well-rounded when it comes to music. And
I have my reservations on Luke Combs, and I don't know why. There's a little bit of like friendships that are no longer friendships that like Luke Combs now, so I'm just gonna like you ruined them for me, and so now I'm just like I'm gonna hit on Luke Combs for no reason. He's getting like side fire for no reason.
He's the op now.
Yeah,
he's the
for no
op now.
reason. Well, other than that, we'll go from there. Stephen Wilson Jr. right now is a good listen to. But enough about them. They're not here. You're here. Your music, dude. Cold Beer John Deere. It's a Good Friday song.
4 o'clock on a Friday, I just punched my time. Boss stand me yelling all week. He made $1, I made a dime.
Very good. It's a Good Friday song.
It is.
Said it right? Okay. I
Yes,
was
sir.
like,
Yeah.
I do get song titles wrong.
Yeah,
So
Cold Beer John Deere.
Good Friday song for me. Because it's that's what it's meant. At least
That's what it's for.
Yeah, it's,
Working all week, you get to that Friday point, you're ready. You're ready to just unload, open a cold one, and just go.
Yeah, man. But the one you have out right now, don't say it. I'm gonna say it right. If you don't mind.
If you don't
mind. Dude, I don't know if this is going to put you in a bad spot or not, but it sounds like the perfect wedding song.
Does it?
It does.
Does it?
Oh, yeah.
You putting it in that category?
I think so, dude.
Really?
Yeah, man. I think so.
Well, that means
I'm
a lot
not
to
even
me.
just being nice because you're here. I was like...
And if you ain't got no plans for forever, maybe we can do this life thing together.
I told this to my wife, who was very critical too about her country music.
Right. As we should be.
Yeah.
As we should
She
be.
walked in. I was jamming it on the big speaker at home, so I wanted her to just walk. The way I know if she likes something, I can't tell her, "Hey, check this person out."
Right.
Because it's just automatically like this guy doesn't know.
Right.
He's not gonna. So I just like play it. And if she has something to say, then I know that she liked it. So she walked in, she's like listening to it. And then the music stopped. And she goes, "Hey, who's that?" I go, "Oh, that's the guy I'm going to interview. That's Stephen Loren."
Really?
Goes, "Oh, for real?" Yeah. It's like, that's a good song. And
Thank
that's all
you.
like, wedding
Thank you.
song? She goes, "I can see that."
Wedding. That's a crazy category.
This ain't no one night thing, it's a forever thing. Wanna give you my last name, if you don't mind.
And honestly, when I wrote it, I didn't think about that. To me, it was more just like meet somebody in the bar.
Yeah.
Take her dancing. I never thought about a wedding
So
song.
it almost has that
vibe?
George Strait, the chair song.
Ooh, that's
It
a
has-
huge
it has-
compliment. Thank you, because
I'm serious. Like,
that's a huge compliment.
It has like almost the same theme, but way different on its own.
Right.
At least, and then when I'm picturing, that's what I'm picturing is like seeing her from across the bar, and it's like I got the perfect seat.
Right. Right.
So yeah, that's dude. I have you have whoever's listening, you have to listen to it. It's awesome.
Go check it out.
But yeah, so you like I'm saying like you're hitting those old school
Right.
with the but new modern take to it.
Right. See, that's the goal. That's the goal right there, man.
So what do you see yourself like when you're doing I know you're kind of just starting off, and it's going. What is a little scary for you right now?
Live performances.
Oh yeah.
Live performances, because I'm not a social butterfly, like we mentioned, you know. So during school, whenever it was time for presentations and stuff, I wouldn't show up those days. I wouldn't show up those days because, you know, being in, you know, like being center of attention in front was scary to me. It's gotten easier.
Yeah.
It's gotten easier, especially, you know, like with TikTok and stuff. And, you know, I go sing karaoke sometimes at the bars and stuff. So it's gotten a lot easier. But I think that's probably one of my biggest fears. And I think another thing would probably be like that I'm not going to be able to like always write good songs. You know, like I have that thought's always in the back of my head. Why? I'm not sure. You know, they come naturally when, you know, when you feel something. And I mean, that's really all that matters. You know, it's that it comes from the heart and it comes from within, and that you mean what you're singing about. But sometimes I do worry, like, am I going to be able to, you know, just keep putting out like this good stuff, you know?
I think that's natural. That sounds pretty natural for anybody, you know. And it's what I've heard so far from other people as well. I don't know if I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but I feel like I'm right. Too hard, too fast. We don't check facts. But George Strait didn't write most of his 50 plus #1 hits.
No, sir, he didn't.
So, and he still jammed them.
He did.
So,
and he became the king.
There you go. So you don't. I mean, it's cool that you write. It's weird that a lot of country music singers don't write their own songs,
right?
And I think it's weird because I used to think all the country music singers wrote their own songs. You know,
me too.
Yeah, so it was a little bit of a, we might be breaking some hearts for people that they don't all write their own music.
It's true. Very true.
So I don't know. I mean, it's cool that you want to and that you have that desire. And the cool thing, and I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'm not in the business. I'm in the business of listening to good music.
It's a good business. That's a good business.
Business is good. What is it? Business is booming.
There you are.
I don't even know what I was gonna say with that, but I lost it. I don't know where it was. Oh, too hard, too fast. But moving forward, like, so when you're on stage, when you're singing karaoke, what are you thinking about?
Everyone staring at me.
Yeah.
I think that's just my biggest fear. Is just like too many people like looking at me at one time. But in this business, 99% of that is what it's gonna be. You know, so it's just a hurdle that I'm gonna have to jump over. And I'm working on it slowly, but I think it'll be fine. I think we're gonna be fine once we get these first couple shows knocked out. I think that's gonna.
Oh yeah, that's the true testament. I would love to know what you feel like when you get off. What do you feel when you get off a karaoke stage? And I'll say this because I don't karaoke. Like I said, no. I've done it. I've done it twice in my life. I don't really remember the first time. The second time, I was pulled off stage.
Too hard, too fast.
Too hard, too fast. I'm really curious, like, what you're gonna feel once you have your own show that's coming up pretty soon.
I know, me too.
It's gonna be exciting.
It is. It's exciting. I'm nervous. I'm excited. I'm ready. I want to just tackle it, but at the same time, it'll be my first one, so I'm not really sure how to fully approach the situation too. But Shelly's a great mentor, and she's gonna point me in the right direction, and we're gonna knock it out of the park.
Yeah,
we're gonna knock it out of the park.
Like, she's gonna. I've never seen the process, but I can imagine that it's gonna be grueling until you get it right. So
I love working with her. It's a vibe, like we come in here, we just vibe.
Yeah,
we just vibe. It's laid back, it's laid back, and it's fun. Yeah, it's fun. There's some guys I talk to, and they dread recording. They want to cut vocals bad, and they're like, man, I got this song, but I don't really. I don't really want to go, in studio and record and cut and everything. And I'm like, dude, I have fun in there. You know what I mean? Like we're having a time.
Yeah. Like I said, I can only imagine. I've seen the videos, and dude, there's one that was shot of you doing that, and it's so cool. The way whoever shot it, it was perfectly done.
Yeah, it was good.
What happens when the fame starts getting crazy? When you start getting more and more recognized? Because you already said, you go hang out at these places, they play your music, you start getting some recognition.
Right.
Recognition. Recognition is not a word. You could call me out. I told you, make fun of me if you can, man. God, don't let me slide.
Got you.
Yeah, so what does that feel like right now? And do you ever think about like what happens when this blows up and gets big?
So right now, what it feels like, being in, and it's crazy because a lot of times when we're out eating is when a lot of people will come up to me and be like, "Excuse me," we were at Pluckers not too long ago, and sitting down with my wife and kids, enjoying some wings, some beer, and this lady had come really out of nowhere. I did not see her come in. So I was like, okay, and she approached the table, and instead of talking to me directly, she walked up to my wife and she was like, "Excuse me." She was like, "I don't mean to be rude and interrupt your meal." She was like, "But is your husband a singer?" And she was like, she looked at me and she was like, "Yes." And she was like, "I didn't want to, approach him, while you're here, I'd want to be as respectful as possible." She was
nice.
like, "But I've been following him for like a very, very long time, I've been following him on, TikTok and stuff. Like, he's great." And she turned to me and she was like, "You're really great. Like, I love what you do, keep doing it, And the best part is that my kids were there. So my son, he's 5, he's small. He doesn't completely understand what's going on. He knows I'm a singer, but he doesn't like fully, he's not fully aware of the situation. My daughter, she's 12. She knows. So after the lady had walked away, my daughter's like, "Dad, you're freaking famous." And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Dude, I'm telling everybody at school tomorrow that these people come up to us and they're like, 'Oh, we know who you are and we see you all the time.'" And so she's like, she gets a rush from it, And she's like, "You're famous. Like, people know us, people know you, and that's crazy." And I'm like, it is crazy. For me, sometimes it doesn't feel real, I guess, maybe, sometimes it doesn't feel like real. I'm like, they really came over here and like they know who I am, like they know my name and like they listen to my music. And sometimes I have to like take a step back and I'm like, man, like I have music like out there, like my face is out there, like and so right now it kind of just feels a little bit surreal, I enjoy it, like it's crazy, it still blows my mind, it's a blessing. In the future, like if it takes off and like big things, man,
do you think about it?
I think about it a lot. And I think the number one thing that I think about mostly, especially me and my wife talking about it, is how different life would be as people, like walking into the store, and like the more popular you are or the more recognized you are, I feel like people bandwagon, so like if like 2 people were to come up and like, "Hey, let's take a selfie," and people are gonna like start rushing in to be like, "Well, who's that?" I want to, let me have a picture, and those kind of things would worry me, because I'm like, dang, like we just can't come out like shopping regularly without these things. Not that it's a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing, because that in itself is a blessing too, for people to be like, "Oh, like you made it," like you made it and people know who you are. I just feel like life would be different, life would be different. And I wouldn't know exactly how to handle it just yet.
I think it's probably best that it is like a slow, I've always said this, like it's better to be a slow burn to the top,
right?
And that way, it's gonna take a while. But because if it's a fast If it's a fast one, it's gonna sizzle out faster.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And that's just my opinion. I don't. You know, that's not true for everybody. But that's just how, at least how I see it for myself and the podcast.
Right.
And it's funny that you mentioned like that people kind of bandwagon. My buddy, he's done it twice, but the one time that I just thought it was hilarious because I didn't. One of them was planned. I was like, yeah, do it again. It's funny. But we were in Dallas and we went to go eat breakfast, and I did not even like think about it. Was it? I don't know. Maybe I missed. Either way, but it was like, I know it was a restaurant. We were walking in, and he was already in there. And he goes, "Hey, too hard, too fast. You do have a podcast, right?"
Oh, people he called you out.
Yeah. And I was like, dude, but I didn't expect it. After that, like there was a time where I planned it with a friend just for the funds.
Mm-hmm.
But
I always wanted to do a social experiment like that. I've always wanted to try that.
That didn't get crazy. Like people were just like, interesting. But the owner did come and like talk to me a little bit, and I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, that's cool.
Did you get a free meal?
No, I would never ask. I feel weird about asking for free stuff. Like even when I have like guests on, like I don't like to ask. If they gave me something, that's cool. But and sometimes I'll even offer, say, no, I'll pay whatever, even though I don't have money, but I'll pay.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I would never.
That's good.
I mean, never say never. But I don't ask for it. But it was more like, it's like, and he's done it with the attention of like, I want to help you grow the podcast.
Right. Well, hey, that's a good friend.
Yeah.
That's a good friend.
Yeah. I have a few that do that a lot, that are very comfortable with putting themselves out to be able to put myself out.
Right.
And then my son, he's like, he finds it cool, and at first it was kind of like, I know what a podcast is. I know you listen to them all the time. But he was just like, whatever. And then I took him to go meet a wrestler that I was going to be a guest. And after that, he's like, you're going to do it. You're going to do it. You're like, he hates Joe Rogan because I listen to Joe Rogan all the time. He's like, I don't like Joe Rogan, but you're going to be Joe Rogan.
There you go.
Okay. That's a little crazy. But it's just funny how like my son or like our children kind of see that. And he'll even come up like, look, I think I know how to get your podcast bigger. So either at the end or at the very beginning, you just say, hey, if you like this, like and subscribe. But it's just pretty neat. And yeah, I think about it, like what would happen, if we do get to that major stage of like big recognition. Recognition. I guess I have to say my words better. No, I don't. Too hard, too fast. But no, that's pretty cool. So since we're talking about TikTok, how do you feel like your music can reach people with social media? How are you like? Are you cool with social media, or are you kind of like weird with it now that you've been using TikTok?
To be honest, it's the only social platform that I have. I do have an Instagram and a Facebook page. But me personally, I'm only on TikTok. I could never get into the other ones. I just could never really like, I don't know how to use Instagram. I don't. I tried. I just felt like TikTok was just a lot more natural, and it just felt better. So I'm picky, I'm picky, and I'm kind of stuck on it.
No, it's all good. Cause like on TikTok, I post and ghost. Like I'll post a video, and it's usually like I'll do Instagram, YouTube. I'll even do Threads.
I'm so bad at that. I do that too. Like I'll be on a hot streak, right? Like I'll go get like 10,000 followers, in like 2 weeks, and I'm just live every day, posting videos every day, and then nothing, and I hate that I do that. I hate it,
No, but you do need that time. I don't know what your reasoning for is, but I would think, that time away from it. And this is the reason I do post and ghost on Instagram. TikTok is because I'll lose myself in it because it's so easy just to go from next
hours of it.
Yeah, so what I do is like I try not to watch anything. I don't want to get sucked in. I'll post my stuff. and I'll close it, and I don't get notifications. I don't get any notifications. So if something's going viral, I won't know until the next time I'm like curious about. I wonder how this video's doing,
right?
And I'll check it. But I don't get curious very often.
I'm hooked.
Yeah, I don't. I do it for YouTube. YouTube, I check it a lot. Instagram, I'm always on it. That's like I communicate. I text people. That's how I ask people like to be on the podcast a lot too. So I'm always on Instagram. But Instagram's wild. You know, you never know what's gonna happen or who. I don't even like. I can on YouTube. I know have a good title, good thumbnail. More likely, it's gonna be all right. Somebody's gonna watch it.
Right.
TikTok. Somebody's gonna watch it because it's TikTok. Somebody's watching something.
Yep, they're gonna see it. Yeah. They're gonna see it.
Instagram, like, all right, little buddy, do your best. when I just post it out there, but. Yeah, so I when I go back and some videos are going viral, people are following, people are coming. I was like, oh dang, I should have checked this sooner, because now the momentum's gone.
Right.
But
that happens.
I might go a little bit more, and now I might use it a little bit more because I just got the ability to go live on it. I was like, finally got the ability. Now I can.
Oh man, live is so fun.
Yeah,
live
I don't know how I'm gonna use it with podcasts. Like I don't know how I'm gonna use it yet, but I got that ability. Because I mean, I've had that in Instagram. I just don't use it. Yeah. But again, Instagram, you can be there for 3 hours on live, and I only have like 2 people watching. It's like your parents on 2 different phones from separate side of the house. Even my wife won't be on that. But on TikTok, it's gonna pop up on somebody's.
Yeah.
feed.
Oh yeah.
But
it can be like that too.
Yeah.
It can be like that. Like when you're first getting into it, I remember when I was able to first go live, it was like that for me. 5 people for like a long time, and I'd be on for like an hour and a half, and I'm like singing songs and stuff, and like 5 people, 10. I hit 10. I was like, oh my god, we're doing something. You know, we're making some waves now. And then I think as the more you do it, and you know you grow your audience, you're gonna have a lot more in there, especially with the podcast stuff. They like that. They like that stuff.
Oh,
I like that
we'll
stuff.
See. Yeah,
People are interested in people's lives.
Oh yeah,
Social media, man.
I just gotta figure it out.
They want to know.
I'm kind of curious with like with your music and the choices that you choose for your theme in songs, or just in general with the way you want your career to go. What do you want to avoid, and what would you want to make sure you do a lot more of?
I want to keep it real. And that's the way I write music. It comes from the heart. Maybe not necessarily something that I have firsthand dealt with, but I want to write music and make music that people can relate to. You know, like a party song. You know, like people love a good party song. You know, but for me, just, you know, growing up and things that I've gone through, everybody's gone through some things, you know. I want to make music and keep making music that touches people, that can take them, you know, to a place deep down, or get them out of a place that they're in, you know. And that's what I want to keep doing. And I just don't want to fall into the I don't know what you would call it, not the mainstream glam, but Parker McCullum made a really, really good comment that I saw on TikTok today. Oh, wow. I don't know when he posted it, but I saw it today. And he said, you know, the more I write songs, the more songs I write, the less he feels like a country singer. He said, because back in the day, you had to meet criteria, you know. These guys look the part. They are the part. You know, these guys are cowboys, or they're you know, rodeo guys. Like, they're doing their thing, and they have been, and that's what country music was. You know, Heartbreak, the rodeos, and all that stuff. Good times. And you had to meet criteria back then. It wasn't so broad. And nowadays, we got guys that are not country artists in country categories. You know, like Beyonce. You know what I mean?
Controversial.
You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. You know?
I know. I 100. Well, 80% of me will. Nah. I'm gonna go full 100.
She did
I
not-
want it to be nice.
You
but
didn't deserve
only
that.
because she's a Texas girl.
She is.
You know, that's
she
the
is.
only reason I want to be on her side.
But this was the point. This was the point of Parker McCullum made. The farther you get along in your music career, the farther you get away from what made you start that career. You know, like, so when he was writing these songs, he was obviously in a particular spot in his life that molded him to where he was at then. Well, you get taken away from your everyday normal life, the things that made you who you are, and you get farther away from them. And he was like, the farther I get away, the less I feel that I'm doing it right, you know? And that really kind of opened my eyes. I was like, man, you know, like, I never thought about it like that. Like, that's true. Like, I don't want to get so far away that you lose who you actually are, and you just kind of follow, you know, the way the path is going, and the path just keeps getting more broad, you know. Like I said, we have people in the country category who are not really that country, you know. They just put they get a feature or something, and I want to stay away from that. I want to keep it real, keep it as traditional as possible, with a little, you know, hint of modern flair that, you know, our culture can relate to and stuff, and just that's what I'm going for.
Yeah. So basically, you're saying is once you go Nashville, their music ain't real.
Nashville. It's real. It's real.
No, I'm just kidding.
Nashville music's real.
I'm kidding. Well, I mean, what was that one song? Alan Jackson, George Strait. The day the music died.
Murder on Music Row.
Yes, there you go.
Murder on Music Row. Yeah, I mean, it's true. It's true. You get taken away from your roots.
It's yes. I think it is a touchy subject, but I agree. I'm on both sides of the fence.
Me too.
Because I do like a lot of the music that they put out. Some of it I do stray away when it's very not real. When it's just produced, or like they make somebody that they're not. And there's plenty of guys that even they left Texas for that, and now they don't have that Texas sound that they used to have.
Right. And you see, I'm on both sides a little bit as well, because I mean, the times change, you know, like things change. We're getting more modern, things are different, you know, like the generations keep changing, and they're getting different, and the style of stuff changes, and I'm like, a part of me is like, you know, go with the flow and like ride it out, but the biggest part of me is like, you can't do that. Like what country music is what it should always be and stay, you know. Like, I feel like you got to meet criteria for that.
Oh yeah.
That's just.
And I will say this: in 2010, I was graduating college, and I said, as soon as I graduate, I'm moving to Nashville.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make this happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no. I'm not a singer. But yeah, man, I thought that was and I will, you know, close it down on a positive note. I do like that Nashville country music in general is moving more into like accepting a little more cultures into
a little bit more diverse.
Yes, it's getting more diverse, which also can be a little both sides of the fence, because it's like, you know, they want to hold on to obviously what was their roots, just like how we have our own roots. For Hispanics or Mexicans, or our music sings about our culture. You know, country music did sing about that culture, but I do like now that I can feel a lot more welcomed in. Right. You know, back then I don't think I felt that way, and also I thought, I was like, what is this, you know, Mexican kid gonna go sing country music? But now there's a bunch of Mexican kids that are, you know, or any kind, all you know, all colors, black people, everything, everybody, and so that's real cool, because, you know, I so badly wanted to be part of the Redneck Yacht Club, but
Craig Morgan. Yes. Craig Morgan. Oh, I love that song.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a good song.
Sounded like such a fun time, but, you know, I felt like, let me in. But no, so on that positive note, I do love that it's getting a lot more diverse and a lot more people are welcomed in,
Right.
and people are crushing it.
Oh yeah, man. There's some people coming out with some crazy stuff.
You're gonna crush it, man. This song,
Thank you.
I'm telling you,
Thank you.
I don't know why I put it at you all aggressively,
Right?
but no, man, dude, this song, if you don't mind, it's gonna be out. It's gonna, if it's not already, it's gonna be. This is a awesome, badass single.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
I know I complimented it already, but it's real. Like I'm not. If we're talking about real. That's real stuff.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that.
Heck yeah.
We're coming towards the end. I'm gonna ask you for your Too Hard Too Fast story. A funny story, a cautionary tale, or words of wisdom. But before we do all that, where can people find you? You said mostly TikTok. What
Mostly
TikTok, and where can people hear your music?
My TikTok is official Stephen Loren. Go check it out. And my music is on all digital streaming platforms: Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, everywhere. It's on Pandora. I mean, we're anything digital where you can listen to music. It's there. It's there.
You cool if I play a little segment of it throughout the podcast?
Yeah.
Perfect. It's legal now because it's on camera.
Yeah. Go for it.
Also, I'll check with Shelly because I also don't want to get beat up. But Too Hard Too Fast story.
Let's go words of wisdom. I always grew up thinking that and it sounds cliche, people are like, chase your dreams, your dreams, and I always dreamed about it as a kid, singing songs and writing songs. I didn't ever think it would be real just because it seemed like it's just a dream, it's just a dream. But man, if you love it and if you really love it, just go for it. You lose every opportunity you don't even try taking, and you're going to go through life and you're always going to wonder, what would it have been like if I would have just tried, or, at least, dabbled in it a little bit, positive, of course. Yeah, but man, if you love something, it doesn't matter what it is. Music, if you love art, if you love anything, you know what I mean? If whatever you're passionate about and you love, just do it. Don't let nobody get in your way. There's going to be people that are going to try and take you down. A lot of people that are going to try and take you down. Don't listen to it. It's you against the world, and you're your biggest critic. So it's just you against you. Just do it, give it a shot, try it. The only way you're going to learn is if you fail, and failing is not failing. It's a lesson. Next time, that's not the way to do it next time. It's a lesson. You're going to win. So whatever you love, chase it. You know what I mean? And who knows, maybe one day it'll open up your life to something totally different.
Heck yeah, man. Nashville, here we come.
Let's go,
we
baby.
talked a lot of mess, but we're coming.
Go.
We're coming. We're coming all over.
Whoa.
I'm going to cut all of that out.
That was a good one. One.
I wasn't even trying to
set yourself up for that one.
I did. So what I meant, you're gonna be everywhere, man. Nashville. I have a thing where like I'll talk mess about a certain city and then go, I really love that city and I really like the way because I've been to Nashville and I've super nice people.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't have any negative experience or anything like that.
I want to go so bad.
That's what I'm saying. Like I was talking mess, but I actually like the city. So we'll end on that.
All right.
And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Loren, we just gone too hard, too fast. Remember, slow down, enjoy the moment. Bye.